universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. Finally passed the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. If you've got something to say it to my face.
Kamala held a booming rally in Atlanta, Georgia, in front of a large crowd full of excitement with many big-name appearances, Megan Thee Stallion, Quavo, showing the hype behind her candidacy is very real and moving upwards very fast. So I've pulled a few of the clips to look at and discuss what goals she hopes to achieve in her presidency.
On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs. We will ban more of those hidden fees and surprise late charges that banks and other companies use to pad their profits. We will take on corporate landlords and cap unfair rent increases. And we will take on Big Pharma to cap prescription drug costs for all Americans.
These are the problems that actually hurt working class families, and tackling them will help them more than rich guy tax cuts ever will. Trump cost billions of dollars for consumers in recklessly rolling back different programs and regulations that enrich the owners and the corporations at the direct behest of the consumer, thus the working class, while Biden and Harris work together to tackle junk fees, late fees. Harris as an AG went after big banks and predatory loans. She has experience fighting for working class people. So with her, we get an economy that works for the working class. She's led the way in the current administration in removing the ability to report medical debt negatively to impact your credit. And it has been leaked that she's been working with North Carolina governor on a pilot plan to incentivize hospitals to just outright forgive medical debt, something that would erase billions alone in that program, and something that has been leaked also that she plans to bring to a national level if elected, which is amazing. Americans should never, in the wealthiest country in the world, fear being in crippling debt for needing life-saving care, and to mix that with caps of medicine costs across the board is just another huge step in the right direction.
We who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. We who believe in reproductive freedom will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans, and when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law.
These voting acts are huge, like massive for our democracy, progressive, and they're very thorough measures that would enshrine the protections in our democracy that would stave off the attacks that Trump has brought on it since 2021, January 6th. And the John Lewis Act would alone allow states to be sued for implementing rules that discriminate against minority groups more than any other, while the Freedom to Vote Act would end gerrymandering, something that's also used to discriminate against minorities, and something Republicans also use to cut districts in ways that favor Republicans. You could look at Marjorie Taylor's district to where they don't have to fear losing these statewide elections, while also focusing on getting big money out of politics, something that corrupts all politicians and bleeds into both sides. Like if you look at AIPAC, big oil, these kinds of things that any American should be willing to champion, regardless of who's saying they're going to do it, regardless of what your political party is on. If you can see outside the cult, you should think that these are good things. The Biden-Harris administration also signed off on the first gun legislation in a decade. The last time we had one, I was in elementary school. I'm grown up now, and I am happy that it'll be on the forefront of a Harris administration to take it even further, banning assault weapons, further closing loopholes, gun show loopholes, having national red flag laws, universal background checks. I mean, all data shows that stricter gun control equals less gun violence, less accessibility leads to less gun deaths, and I am happy to support a candidate who will do what's right to protect our children from weapons that they don't even get to grow up to understand when these things happen. The abortion laws that we've seen, another point she tackled here, around the country are egregious. Maternal mortality is on the rise in states that have enacted them. We've already seen the adverse effects, and they just want to further those. And Kamala Harris is the perfect orbiter to speak out against how heinous they are. She's a woman. She's personally affected by these, and she does a great job prosecuting them. And to have a woman come into office and be the one who's able to codify these rights into law would be a real full circle and like poetically written moment.
Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say,
do you hear that crowd? This kind of excitement hasn't been in politics since like 2008 Obama. And at this point, I think it's more than he even had. I mean, this is like Taylor Swift levels. And I think there's no way in hell that Trump will debate this woman. He never does unless he knows it'll be very favorable to him. You have to remember in 2016, he refused the Fox debate after having an interview with Megyn Kelly where she asked him hardball questions. He didn't do debates in 2020. He refused to debate in his own primary in 2024 because he had the lead, because he knew that the Republicans would have called him out for his weaknesses, and he only accepted against Biden, who he felt like he could beat. He's already walked back meeting Harris in the debate that he agreed to previously at the scheduled time. Now he said on Fox that he could get away with not debating her at all. He could make a case for it, and it's because she represents his greatest weaknesses. And again, he would be the old man on stage. I mean, she's a black female prosecutor, someone who can prosecute his crimes front and center and in real time for everyone watching to see, and he would be relegated to being the old, bumbling, delusional man on the stage, not making any sense. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.